Yeah, it's August now, end of August 2016, so I'm now in the... I'm basically about 5 years overdue making a record. What I'm trying to do, basically, my aim is to try and do 10 songs that are just piano and guitar or whatever, and not much on them, so that I can establish as to whether the strength is in the song. So instead of relying on any sort of production techniques or colouring in that way, trying to see if the song moves someone in its rawest state. Douse the furnace in my brain, strike the anvil and cut the chains to feel my heart just beat again with trembling hands and trembling feet, amen. I'm basically just getting songs, trying to get songs finished. I suppose I'm just trying to work out, because I'm just trying to work out how these songs sound together, you know. It's a song for a moment in meeting. Keep jumping between these songs, you know, different songs, trying to work out how to record them, you know, like it's like I work on them bit by bit. Hold me now, don't let me go. For me, the joy of songwriting when you can get, it's like a puzzle, very, very long puzzle, but it can be quite sort of laborious as well. Hence the reason why you see me upstairs playing the same song a million times. You know.
He still don't know what faith is. Says he lies.
The difference between people who want to be artists and artists is that artists finish things.
People change. We don't notice. I guess I thought.
For me, being somebody who's taken a long time to finish things, you're always in doubt.
What I mean is, I'm in pieces.
I haven't necessarily thought I'm not an artist, but I certainly have been through periods where I felt like I didn't know how to do it anymore. If someone was trying to sum up the record, I think it's all in the title really, because the title is trying to explain that the collection of songs are about going through something and coming out the other end of it.
Let this road end, set me on my feet. And let go.
And you know, there's a lot of sad songs, but there's also some happy songs about falling in love again. I wanted it to be live. I wanted it to feel like you walked in the room and I was playing the song. It took me a while to get that right.
When Mariana sings,
it feels like a sort of coffee shop album. Songs that can exist in a bookshop quite comfortably. I wouldn't say they're any more authentic. They're just reflective of my age and where I've been and who I am.
It's who I am, and what you see is in
I found more and more I was listening to records that didn't have anything on them, whether it was from Johnny Cash to Dylan to whatever. It was just I was finding myself drawn to less production.
This is a song for a sad young man. It's a song for a drifter, a dreamer, picking up the stones on his way back home, trying to find something to believe in. He's been propping up bars, playing cheap guitar, trying to make some sense of it all.
I just wanted to make that sort of record, one that didn't have much in it.
While the barflies chat, and Jesus just walks out the door.
And my manager was always supporting me in that and believed that an acoustic record would be really powerful. So I took his word for it, you know, and let's see, let's hope it has some impact.
People change, we don't notice.
I feel like this album is someone in the corner of a bar with not enough to eat and maybe got the same coat and shoes on he's had for a long time, and it feels like that. It feels like a kind of it's a bit of a rag and bone man sort of album. I know that sounds weird, but it's without pretense. So I mean, there isn't any pretense. I mean, I never try to have pretense on any of my records, but I think even the reason why I've stripped everything away more and more on each album is because I want less pretense. I don't want to gloss it up with strings. I don't want to pump it up with bass and drums. I want it to just exist in truth, in there, in that moment, in one simple form. A man on a piano and guitar, or either.
The rich, they can't afford it. There's nothing left to order. The parody.
It might not work for some people, and I don't mind. It's just what I had to do. It's just what I had to do in my journey. And as I said, songwriting doesn't define me. It's who I am as a person that defines me, and that's what I'm trying to work on.
And it wears you.
Do you ever get nervous about releasing a record such as this?
How do I say? It's not nervous, it's hopeful. I get hopeful in that I hope it surprises me and connects with loads of people. But I don't think I'm not scared of putting it out. Do you know what I mean? I feel very confident about putting it out because it feels honest, and that's who I am.
This is home. Well, I'm never gonna let you go. No, I'm never gonna let you go from my arms.
Yes, there's darkness, but there's always hope. There's always hope. And there's one thing about all my records that I always try to maintain, and I always try to bring into every song, is hope. I never just let it be dark. You'll see his broken mirror on the ground. See his mirror broken on the ground. Don't drink that water, go far beyond where the wild river runs.
Is it important that it makes sense to you?
Well, it has to make sense to me.
Mm.
I don't mind if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. But sometimes it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to me, but because life doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, I can't work out my own life, let alone my own songs, so maybe that's not such a bad thing. And yes, you'll taste the grapes of wrath,
and you'll trek that rack and ruin path, and past the pool Narcissus drown, and you'll see his broken mirror on the ground. But don't drink that water, go far beyond where the wild river runs.
Anybody observing me, wanting me to produce more music or be faster or whatever it is. I only know my experience is what it has been, and I'd maybe if my life was different and the times were different, I might be making a record every year. But for one or other reason, it's been the way it's been, and lots of things have got in the way of that.
To start a babe upon her breast, until we meet our final test, where the current's fast and the current's slow, where the wild rivers go.
It's a bit difficult to answer people when they say why don't more people know your music, or why have you not, you know what I mean, why are you not bigger than you are? And I can't answer that for them. I think the harsh reality of doing what I do, people don't see the back end of it and see how hard it is how expensive it is to make records, how expensive it is to rent a studio, how expensive it is to buy the equipment. It's a real luxury of a job to have, but keeping that job, you have to really fight for it, because you have to pay for it as well. Really, ultimately, everyone likes the fantasy. Everyone likes the fantasy of being an artist, or being a writer, or being a painter. But in practice, most people don't have the actual steel to be able to continue doing it, because it's incredibly unpredictable and very difficult to rely upon.
Do you know me? Do you know my name? Am I crazy? Am I killing time? I'm killing time. Could you hold me? Could you hold me tight? Could you save me from the morning light? The morning light. I hear you say our stars are all aligned. Well, if you're a water sign, I'm fire. And I know you think that you understand my mind. Well, honey, you don't know my kind, 'cause I burn. You see, it's a fine line. It's a free crime. It's a moment in time.
Would you say that Tom Baxter's different to when he's on stage and off stage?
He's probably more sure of himself on stage than he is off stage, put it that way. I mean, when you're playing work that you've done and it's finished and it's gone through that process of being written and it's arrived, you know, it's in a way your job then is to go out and, you know, deliver them.
There in the words we used to skirt around it. There in the crook of your angry mouth. Nothing you say rings true about you, and it makes no difference if you say it loud. Where do I go if I can't be here? How can I understand this world without fear? I'm trying to hide it, but crying out loud. How can I show my heart when you cut it out?
You have a sort of optimum moment with a song, and that's, I think that optimum moment is in the first, you know, hour or few hours when you write it, and then what you always do is you get to the point in the evening normally where you just run out of ideas, or you don't have the lyric. And for me, it's often I just don't have lyrics, I have a tune or something, and I think, oh great, I've got this, and then I'll come back to it tomorrow. But when you come back to it the next day, it's like you've lost connection with that special place. So then, you know, from my perspective, it feels like I have all of these unfinished songs, and that's for me what, in a way, is the hardest part, is finishing things, and it's actually trying to push something through to the finish line where you feel like you've completed it.
Lover, didn't think we'd say goodbye, didn't mean to make you cry again. Oh, lover, could it be the reason why I left you there? I was so messed up inside. Now this is the hardest part.
Once you've finished the song, you've then got to try and make some sort of album from it, and so it's a continuous process of trying to push through to the next thing. And it's like I once said to somebody else, it's like being in one of those old Victorian mazes. You know, you're sort of trying to find your way out, and you keep going down all these blind alleys, and then just one day you just find that through sheer kind of determination you've just found your way out. And that's a bit like the feeling it is when you eventually receive the CD or the vinyl that you've made, and it's done, and you just feel relief just to sort of be out of the maze. What do I expect from this record? I just feel like I'm compelled to do it. Putting it out was just the most honest reflection of where I am at my life right now. All I want to do is write songs and keep writing them and try and get better at what I'm doing, and try and, you know, hopefully be of some value in people's lives with music. Daddy held me in when I heard Andy start to sing. Oh, yes. Sorry, I can resist that. Made me laugh. Really hard, isn't it?